Deputy Chief Minister Govind Karjol reacts on cabinet expansion. I will abide by High Command's decision, says Govind Karjol. I am ready to resign from my post for the party. Vijaypura district will get one cabinet berth during the expansion. Here now, Deputy Chief Minister Govind Karjol reacting on the cabinet expansion soon after B.S. Yediyurappa assured that by this month end, cabinet will be expanded. Govind Karjol claiming that he will abide by High Command's decision and he is even ready to resign from his position for the party. Take a listen.
ನಾನು ಒಂದೇ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಏನು ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ನಿರ್ಣಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ನಾನು ತಯಾರಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು, ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಯಕರಾದಂಥ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಚಾಚು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಒಬ್ಬ ಶಿಸ್ತಿನ ಸಿಪಾಯಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆ ಉಳಿದದ್ದೇನು ಕೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಬಿಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. 100% ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಮ್ಮದೇನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
My colleague Pratibha joins us over the phone line with more inputs on it. Well, Pratibha, let's begin with Chief Minister's statement over the cabinet expansion, where he says that cabinet will be expanded by this month end. Now, this isn't for the very first time, that Mr. Chief Minister has made the statement more or less on expected lines earlier as well. We heard him saying that as soon as I return from Davos after attending World Economic Forum, I will talk to the High Command and the cabinet will be expanded. Now, it's been already quite a few days, but still cabinet expansion has not seen the light of the day.
Absolutely, Neha. And it looks like there could be a further delay as well. As of now, Yediyurappa has said that by the end of this month, the cabinet would be expanded. But we've seen already the kind of delays that have been caused previously. Like you mentioned, Yediyurappa had said that immediately after his arrival from Davos, within 2 to 3 days, the cabinet would be expanded. And that hasn't happened. And that's clearly because of the differences between the state leadership as well as the High Command. Yediyurappa is quite adamant that all the 11 newly inducted and newly elected BJP MLAs be a part of the cabinet. But the High Command is not in favor. So in the line is Yediyurappa's image of a man who keeps his word, because this is the promise that he is said to have given to all the newly elected MLAs when they joined the BJP, when they deserted the Congress and the JDS and they joined the BJP. The promise that Yediyurappa had allegedly given them was that whether they win or not, irrespective of their victory in the by-polls, they are going to be a part of the cabinet. This was the assurance that was given to them. And this is the reason why they had come over to the BJP, and this is the reason why Yediyurappa is in power. So Yediyurappa knows that his image is at stake. He knows very well that the state leaders and now even the opposition leaders have started mocking him already, saying he's a man of his word. It would be quite difficult for Yediyurappa to go back on his word. So this is the reason why Yediyurappa seems to be pushing the same as well. He has spoken to the High Command time and again, and he has spoken for all the 11 MLAs to be included into the cabinet. But the High Command is said to be opposed to it, because in the long run that might be detrimental to the party. We've already seen that Amit Shah, was speaking to Yediyurappa, is said to have told him initially that just about 6 MLAs, the turncoats, can be included into the cabinet. The rest should be the loyalists of the BJP, because the party cannot afford to have the loyalists be upset, because that's going to be working against the party in the long run. This is the reason why the High Command is opposed to it. After a lot of convincing, now it seems like Amit Shah and the High Command of the BJP, including JP Nadda, have agreed to 9 of these MLAs being included, but still it looks like Yediyurappa does not want to go back on his word, which is why he continues to insist. And this means that 2 more MLAs would have to be included. So until that happens, Yediyurappa is also continuing the bargaining with the top leaders of the BJP, which is why he's pushing it further. Clearly, the newly elected MLAs are not going to be too happy about it. But as a compromise formula, it looks like Yediyurappa is likely to ask a few of the senior leaders of the BJP to perhaps sacrifice their posts. Those who have been in the cabinet all this while might perhaps have to resign, which is why we have this reaction from Govind Karjol. Yesterday, we also saw J.C. Madhuswamy, one of the prominent leaders of the BJP as well, talking about stepping down, saying it's fine if I have to step down just to accommodate the new leaders. So because for the BJP is going to be a tightrope walk, they not just need to include all the newly elected MLAs, but also ensure that the loyalists are also happy. Several of them have been disgruntled for a long time, Umesh Katti for instance. So the party cannot have so many loyalists be against the party. That's going to work against them in the long run, and the High Command also knows it very well. So it looks like for now the state leaders are looking at a solution at the state level, which means that the senior leaders will perhaps have to sacrifice their post so that more and more people can be included in the cabinet. So as these discussions are going on, it looks like the expansion, the much awaited cabinet expansion, continues to be delayed, Neha.
That's right, Pratibha. Now, as you rightly said, that Govind Karjol also has said that he is ready to resign from his post. What does this indicate? Pratibha, given the fact that there are several leaders from within the party who were quite vocal in expressing their dissent with the party for the denial of the cabinet expansion, when, of course, for the very first time the cabinet was expanded. Now, here, Pratibha, what's surprising is that the BJP High Command in this entire picture seems to be very indecisive, isn't it?
Well, it looks like the High Command is quite adamant on the fact that all the new MLAs cannot be included, because this means that the majority of the cabinet would be of the newly elected MLAs, and all of these are turncoats. So on one hand, the High Command knows very well that all of them lack administrative experience. So that's one of the things that's keeping the High Command sure that they can't have all the newly elected MLAs as part of the cabinet. At the same time, loyalists, like you said, have been speaking up against the party time and again. We've heard a few leaders express their unhappiness. There are several loyal BJP leaders who have spoken about how they should get a chance as well. So while lobbying is not new for any party, they knew very well when the cabinet expansion will take place, there are leaders from within their party as well who will be lobbying. They also need to look at getting the equations right to ensure that if at all they have rewarded all of these turncoats so well as Yediyurappa has promised them, in the long run it's going to be very difficult for the BJP. And administrative experience-wise as well, all of these newly elected MLAs don't have any, which is a cause of worry for the High Command. So the High Command seems to be sure of the fact that all of the newly elected MLAs cannot be included in the cabinet, but Yediyurappa on his part, like we mentioned, is quite adamant that his image is at stake, so he wants to keep his word. This is the promise that he had given to all the newly elected MLAs and he wants to keep it. So to strike a balance is what is getting difficult for the BJP. Of course, for the High Command of the BJP as well, they can't afford to have Yediyurappa upset, because Karnataka has always been the gateway to South for the BJP, and this is the only perhaps state in the South where the BJP has a very strong presence. So they can't manage to have Yediyurappa upset, because Yediyurappa is a strong force within the BJP. They know it very well. And at the same time, Yediyurappa also can't afford to go against the BJP High Command, which is why this dilly-dallying continues. This is why the talk is going to continue for a while until there is a consensus in this regard between the state leadership as well as the BJP High Command, Neha.